Welcome to the public forum. We're going to hear submissions tonight on the IP&R suite of documents, including the draft operational plan and budget. Thank you very much.
My name is Jemima and I'm here on behalf of many local families to express my support for investment in Mountford Park Playground, particularly improvements that cater to toddlers and preschool aged children. Over the past year, I've had the privilege of speaking with many parents, grandparents and carers in our community. A common theme emerged. While Mountford Park is a valued community asset, there's a gap when it comes to suitable play opportunities for children under school age. I want to be really clear that this is not a criticism of the existing playground. The current equipment serves older children well, however, Leeton is home to many young families, and for our parents of toddlers and preschoolers, there are limited age-appropriate available options. Last year, I started a community petition on behalf of others calling for a toddler and preschool family addition to Mountford Park. The response had been overwhelming, with strong support from local families who wanted to see this space evolve to better meet the needs of our growing and modern community. That support continued through my ambassador fundraising campaign, which centred entirely around this cause. Hundreds of community members attended events, donated, volunteered, and shared their support because they believe the project matters. What that demonstrated to me is that this isn't simply just an idea, but it's a community priority. I understand that council faces many competing demands and difficult budget decisions. However, investment in early childhood infrastructure is an investment in the future of our community. It sends a message that Leeton values young families and is committed to creating spaces that are welcoming and accessible for all ages. My request tonight is simple: that council can give a favourable consideration to funding improvements at Mountford Park that include dedicated toddler and preschool aged play opportunities alongside with other family-friendly enhancements where possible. Thank you for your time and for considering the voices of many families who have supported this project.
Thank you, Jemima. Thank you very much. Just some questions? You have some questions? Councillor Ton has a question. And then Councillor May.
Thank you, Jemima. I managed to take a few notes. I've used that park a lot with my kids as well. Can you give me some clues as to what sorts of things would be toddler preschooler friendly items?
Yeah, so the particular area, I guess, that's meant to cater for preschool and like infant age children at the moment is the area closest to the swings with the 2 yellow slides. Information given to me was that that area hasn't been upgraded since I think it was 2004, and I guess standards have changed, and you'll see a lot of our neighbouring shires have had recent, in the last 5 or 10 years, playground upgrades. Naranja's a great example, Tokenmore, Wagga, even Drury, Harden. They've got some really great new playgrounds. And I guess to answer your question as to what that looks like, the equipment at the moment, there's lots of gaps, lots of fall hazards for the age that it's meant to cater for. I guess no sort of easy... Naranja Playground's a great example. It's got like a sort of ramp, stairs, and sort of lots of options for accessibility as well as safety. And like just, I guess, yeah, that's probably the quickest way to answer your question.
Thank you.
Councillor Mayton.
Probably similar to Councillor Tynan, was just kind of after those examples because I'd spent a lot of time using that playground with my children who are now all high school age, but have been there a lot recently with friends that have children around the age of 4 and 5. So not to disagree with you, but at the same time, going there with friends with children those ages, they've been able to use, I guess, like all those little ones in the middle, like the ladybug and the truck and all of that, the swing, like the spiderweb swing. I had thought that there was a bit, but in you pointing out, I guess, the yellow slide, I could probably see how that can be a fall hazard. But I still think that it's pretty well catered for there. That's just my opinion. But yeah, there's probably some things we could also do better. I think ideally it would be good to see pictures of neighbouring shires and examples of what they've got.
Yeah, no, it's a really great statement. And I guess to answer that and to give an example of what this looks like, I have a nearly 2-year-old and a nearly 5-year-old. And my nearly 5-year-old, it probably wasn't until she was closer to 3 that she could probably do things that isn't just sitting on the ladybug, being pushed on the swing. The yellow slide is actually, once you get to the slide, is great for those ages. But the sort of more older-fashioned playground equipment, like the chain that you've got to climb up to get up there, the little ladder is actually quite steep. And then once I get my nearly 2-year-old up there, I'm constantly running and spotting to make sure I get to all those really big gap high areas that she could fall. All children have different abilities, and I
Yep.
think it also comes to supervision. But when there's one of me and 2 children, I actually can't let her go up there. I can only push her on the swing the entire time I'm there. And the entire point of taking 2 kids to the park is to do something
Yep.
other than what I've got in my backyard. So I'm definitely more than happy to provide like examples of what other councils have done. Narandra's a great example. I've gone across there with other mums from
Yep.
just to use the playground that they've got now, because those little in-ground trampolines are great. The fact that the kids can walk straight up into the play equipment,
Yep.
and it's fully like sided pretty much in every aspect that they go. Plus, it's still got the slide and all the fun things. And as parents, we can have a conversation and not
Yep.
constantly spot. And just to wrap it up, another bit of feedback that was received from a lot of parents while consulting people on this was the fencing. A point council made when I spoke to them last year was that we're not near a main road and that's why there's no fencing. Hasn't been a huge issue for me, but I love having a fence at Narandra, and a lot of parents said that if you've got more than 1 children and one's a runner, or you're trying to supervise one on that high piece of equipment and the other one's sort of starting to move out of the boundary and there's only one of you, then there's sort of no
Yep.
fencing. So my particular target isn't the fencing,
Yep.
it's the playground, but it's just little things like that that people
Yep.
have really spoken about, having to supervise. And
Thank you. I'm glad you highlighted the yellow slide area because, yes, I
Yeah.
do remember with my younger kids the height in which, you have to be at the side
Yeah.
of that particular one. The slide itself is really good because it's the right height for a littlie, but it is
Yeah.
quite high with the, like how you get up there. Yeah.
once you're up there, and then just sort of, I guess, the little bridge thing, if my 2-year-old gets enough momentum when she goes down it, she can fall straight off where the fire pole is, I guess. And
Yeah,
just things
yeah.
like that where, a bit more closure would be great.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Jemima. Thank you very much. Oh, another question, Councillor Kidd.
One question, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Jemima, have you ever been down to Graham Park
That is, which one's that? Can you just...
in Graylee?
Yes, I have. And actually
Because
have
that's
been...
fenced.
Yes, I've been there recently, and the fencing is one of the biggest pros of going there, and it actually does have a little bit more suitability in terms of age. And I think there's also the new park in the over the bridge, like the sort of Gossamer Park as well. I haven't been there yet. I've seen photos, and the Yanko Duck Park. We love going there too. I think the reason Mountford Parks are really central concerns not the right word, but I guess target of interest is because this is Leeton's like community hub. We have our markets there, we have our chill and grill there, we have our light up Leeton there, we have all our huge main events, and that's like the main centre of our town. And I can chuck the kids in the car, or if you live out in those areas, go out there. But it would be really great to see our main playground and our main offering, I guess, have the same sort of glow up that other towns are implementing and that the other smaller playgrounds have. But the fencing at Graylee is really great, and people do talk about it.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. Play equipment is hideously expensive.
It is, yes.
There is also, I've certainly been looking at accessibility for people with disability as well. And that becomes even more hideously expensive. What we do is we've got over a dozen parks. So what we do is we work through basically one a year. So it is on a cycle. So that will come up. Have you made a formal submission to council?
I've sort of been liaising with council on this in a few different avenues. Definitely started last year when a group of mums had started talking about doing a petition, and through my job I have those skills to write that kind of thing. So I assisted with launching the petition. And then I also came and met with Josh Klein here at council and Sarah Stewart to also discuss my concerns on behalf of other people. Another thing that did come up during sort of informal community consultation would be the disability aspect as well. Leeton not having a public disability swing, I don't think. Can't speak on that directly, sorry. I know like Narandra does. I know that the Growley School has their own equipment, obviously within. And I understand that council would budget and target certain parks in different financial years, and that I don't also think that the whole park needs upgrading. I think, like I said, it caters for a variety of different ages. And a lot of the other equipment, it wasn't, when I say not long, upgraded within the last 10 to 15 years and is actually quite suitable for older children. It's more that sort of infant to preschool age range that I'm sort of looking at modern safety, I guess.
Thank you for that. These things do come up for discussion from time to time too, with budget
Yeah.
things. Any thoughts that you have, if you pop them down on
Yeah,
paper,
definitely.
we'll certainly give them a hearing. That's fine. Like to do the best.
Yeah, no, that would be great. And I'll go back to Josh now. After I've done, as you would know, like the ambassadorship as well. My aim was to raise a bit of money there, and I think we raised about like to go towards this particular cause. What's left is like $6,500, which Rotary Central are currently holding. I know it's not much, and I know that play equipment is hideously expensive. I've been looking at commercial play equipment costs, and I also have 8 years in local government behind me and have seen the inside of what that looks like as well. So I will touch base with him now that that's all over. And I have been curating some suggestions as well and sort of in more detail the aspects that I think could benefit the community. Yeah, no worries.
Thank you, Jemima. First of all, I must thank you for raising the money and being a princess or ambassador. Yeah, and I'm sorry about tonight. We got some feedback with the IT stuff. We've got $100,000 budgeted for Mountford Park, and there was about $20,000 in kind. There will be a community consultation, so please could be involved in that. And thank you very much. I remember taking my daughter there, and then I remember taking my daughter's daughter there. So it goes back a long way, and it's very, very precious to everybody in Leeton. So thank you for coming tonight, sharing your thoughts and your ideas, and we'll go from there. Thank you very much, Jemima. Bye-bye. Bye. John Martin, you'd like to come forward, John, and give us some information about the Leeton Golf Club. Yeah, come down, try down here. Try the same mic. I'll switch off. There's a little red button there.
It's on.
Good evening, Mayor Weston and councillors. For those that don't know, I'm John Martin. I was the president of Leeton Golf Club, stood down in October of last year, but still on the board. I've been asked to make this presentation on behalf of Josh Klein and Jason Mimo, and I'll probably table this if I could when it's finished. Josh and Jason confirmed they've been working together on this particular topic for a period of 15 years. And I'm reading directly from their submission. Our annual recommendation over the past 15 years has always been a consistent, balanced, small increase, whilst acknowledging costs from surrounding facilities as key indicators. My fear is the proposed increases from council, typically in the green fee section, are too much and inconsistent. Some of the proposed increases are disproportionate, ranging from 50 cents to $2 increases or 5% increases to 14% increases. The method that Josh and Jason say they've been using works. and this is in point form. Our green fee income per annum never decreases. Our rounds per annum never decreases. We recognise that we have to keep our costs affordable and competitive. Putting costs up doesn't necessarily mean income goes up. It can have a negative effect if unaffordable. Proudly, as at the 4th of June, the Leeton Golf Club was $7,000 in surplus to council. Yes, that's $7,000 profit to council. The clubhouse is having a positive flow and effect with golf numbers. Based off our recommended $1 increase in each green fee round, that equates to an extra income of $18,000 to $20,000 for the next financial year. Cost comparison. A cost comparison with council's increases in membership and green fees has Leeton as the most expensive in most, if not all, categories. Griffith, weekly green fee prices are $8.50 cheaper for social round compared to Leeton Shire Council proposed increase for 2026-27. Narandra, annual membership is less than half the price currently, $250 compared to our proposed $550. Leeton requires a very balanced fee structure that ideally sits in the middle and is based on being affordable to join and play, affordable in both aspects. As a side note, the Leeton Golf Club currently has a small but valuable portion of its members playing very limited rounds of golf. People have been continuing to join as they see their membership partly as a donation to assist council and to ensure golf in Leeton continues to thrive. I'll table that report, if I could, please.
Thank you, John. Any questions of John? Councillor Tynan.
John, I have one question. It relates to Josh Klein and Jason Mimo. In what capacity are they writing this report?
Sorry?
I didn't say anything. I didn't say a word.
No, you asked me a question.
Yeah, no, I asked you in what capacity. You told me that Josh works for the council and Jason's the professional. So you answered my question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any more questions of John?
Thank you, John. Yeah, if we could have that tabled so that we could read those numbers and read everything later, that would be it'd be great to be able to have it in front so we could read over it as well. Thank you. We appreciate you coming and speaking on behalf of the golf club and everything you have done for the past in the golf club as well. So
thank you very much.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you, John. All the time we given to. Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
John, thanks for coming along. Always good to hear from the golf club, and it's been a long and I think very successful partnership. I'm just wondering what sort of impact are you seeing from a new clubhouse so far? We're looking at opened about October last year, so we're not quite a full year in.
It's been very positive. I mean, as you're all well aware, we haven't had a home for 12, 13 years, and now we have a source of income, which I think has been reflected in the figures that I've presented tonight. We hope to be able to continue without any gambling facilities at all because we'd like to promote it as a family-friendly place, and it's ideally situated in the better weather where we've got the landscaped area at the back where families and the kids can come along and play and enjoy the facility. And as I said, there is no gambling, there are no poker machines or anything like that. So that's the market, the niche market that we'd try and grab if we can.
Sorry. Have you given thought to I know you have a social membership, which is slightly less than a regular playing membership. Have you given any thought to what I would have described as a social membership, but just being a member of the club so that people can enjoy, general public can enjoy the facilities, even if they're not golfers, because it is a local for quite a number of people in that part of the town?
Well, it's strange, but being a golf club, we don't have any social members. And we've recognised that, and in fact there is a flyer going out, I think this week, to that immediate neighbourhood, encouraging people to become social members at an annual fee of $10, and to attract people to come along and just enjoy the facility, because you don't have to be a golfer to enjoy the facility, and that's our way of trying to attract them there.
Oh, that's a great initiative. So if you're turning a bit of a profit, or it looks like turning a profit for this financial year, that does lessen the need for support from ratepayers. So I think it's probably something that council should look at, the fee structure. But I, for one, certainly be happy to work with you further on that. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you. We do pride ourselves on the fact that we've always had a good working relationship with council, and certainly appreciate the contribution that council has made to the golf course and the golf club. And we've always striven to be at least cost neutral, so that we're not a burden on council. And I think with the current trend and the initiatives that we're trying to take, we hope that that can be a reality and it can stand on its own 2 feet.
Councillor Matham.
It was just a comment when you mentioned about the poker machines, and you're hoping that, you can keep it like that. Last year, I helped coordinate the Christmas party for Sunrise and Coprise, and that was one of the main reasons we held it there, was so that we could kind of capture the crowd, because we know if we were to take them to the pub or other venues, you do tend to lose a significant part of your crowd, and we had, a couple hundred people there. We didn't want to have, 30 or 40 in a different area when we're trying to keep them together for an end of year event. So hopefully other people will consider booking it for those types of things as, the end of year Christmas parties, and that might help keep generating, that income.
We have had a lot of just small functions, particularly just kids' birthday parties and things like that, where trying to encourage...
Hospital Auxiliary Christmas Party. Sorry, Leeton Hospital Christmas Party.
Yeah, and we may be flying in the face of current trends, but we don't want to have poker machines, and I think unfortunately they are a huge money spinner, but they're also something of a social scourge, I think, so we want to try and avoid that, and by encouraging younger families there, I think that fits into that area that we want.
I noted on television recently, I think Sean McAuliffe's series on gambling, he focused on the Ashfield Bolo in Sydney, which is poker. Petersham, isn't it? Yeah, somewhere in the inner west there. Yeah. And very successful, very, very successful, and boosted their numbers out of sight. Real family community asset. Just showing that you can do it. So I'd applaud that. That certainly sits well with me. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll just check with Councillor Morris. Councillor Morris, would you...
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mr Mayor. Thank you, John, for your presentation. I just wanted to ask John, you have been had a great band of volunteers during this time. The council has had an association of running the course, which council has greatly appreciated, and it shows the strength of the, I think, of the golfers in our town. I envisage this would be hoping to be continuing, John, into the future.
Yes, thank you, Councillor Morris. We have a good band of volunteers, and they're very positive, and they work in well with council staff, with the two council employees on the course, and generally work under their supervision, but they do have a lot of initiatives themselves that they do, and because they're volunteers, there is no cost input there, so all the labour is free, and that's one of the big costs we have.
Thank you, John, and they're greatly appreciated. Council very much enjoys seeing our local ratepayers interested in our facilities and certainly doing their best to support them in a voluntary capacity. So it's especially noted and thanked.
Thank you, Councillor Morris. John, thank you for coming tonight, and thank you. You've been the president for the thick and thin. I would say the whole thing has been a success for council and from the volunteers. I mean, imagine have a town with no golf club or golf course at all. So it's been a long journey, but it looks like you're on your feet. You know, you're not running yet, but you're on your feet, and I think it's going to be really good. And although I don't play golf, I'll try and be a social member. You know,
You're a wise man.
All right. But thank you, and thank you, volunteers. Thank you very much. And we'll take on board your information and your thing.
And
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your
Bye.
time. Thank you. Yes. Thank you, Ross.
Thank you, councillors. Thank you, staff, and thank you, the gallery, and the two members of the public who came forward with their submissions. That concludes that part of the public meeting for tonight.